What's up, LEGO builders? Welcome back to Coconut Brick Studios for another week of building Coruscant in LEGO. It's the last update of 2022, and I figured let's end the year with a bang and start the final section of the mock. That's right, section number 3 with the stairs, plaza, Galactic Senate building. A big reason I'm starting this now is because it's going to impact the bank and the entertainment complex. That's why I haven't built the walls on that side. I'm also going to be jumping back to some older finished sections of the mock and fixing up and finishing some things like tiling off walls, lighting up interiors, and building roofs. All that being said, I got some good stuff planned. Don't forget to execute Order 66 on that like button and let's get building. No hesitation, no procrastination. To start this week, I am jumping right into the final section. To start, I need to lay out the massive set of stairs that will lead up to the Senate building and figure out how far away from the entertainment complex they will be. I will have a little section of road between the steps and sidewalk of the entertainment complex so that they aren't squished together too much. The steps are going to be pretty high at 2 plates tall, which is the max height I do for minifig scale steps. I would have done 1 plate, but with 2 plates I can make the whole set of steps double as tall in the same amount of steps, and I need all the height I can get because I'm not sure how many steps I'll be able to have while still leaving enough space for the Senate building. So I want to get as tall and as short a space as possible. I decided the little strip of road didn't look very good when it was lower than the steps and the sidewalk, so I raised it up to the same level as everything else. This meant that I had placed an unnecessary row of tile and brick at the bottom of the steps, so I pulled it out and made the road 2 studs wider to fill that gap. I have been planning and preparing for this section for months now, but I'm still surprised with how many light bluish gray plates and bricks and tile these steps are eating up. Even this small little prototype area has used pretty much all the available parts I have for the stairs. Let's take a look at these stairs. So this is the prototype. This is, going to change as time goes on, but I just wanted to see physically what the stairs would look like, how tall they'd be, how long, all that kind of stuff. I'm going with 2 stud wide steps because, this is a grand Galactic Senate building. You can't just have single stud steps. One of the biggest things I wanted to see was how high I could get because, I can't run this all the way to the back of the mock. I'm probably going to go to about right here. And so that'll probably put me up at about this high, which is, pretty decent compared to the rest of the mock. And then I'm going to have about, this much space to do the Galactic Senate building. I may have to fudge it this way a little bit. We'll see. If worse comes to worse, I can buy a new table and then add on more base plates, to be able to fit that Galactic Senate building because I do not want to compromise this section just to be able to fit it on the existing tables. I will do everything in my power to do that because it's going to be much more expensive this way, but just in case anybody out there is worried, I'm going to try and cram it and make it look bad. I can get another table if necessary. The inside of the stairs is actually pretty simple. It's just going to be pillars of brick that get consecutively higher. But there is one thing that has really been bothering me with this section, and that is this little strip right here. Now, I don't really know what's going on here, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I started this section is to figure out how these 2 sections are going to interact. Because, there's going to be a big wall right here, and I wanted to see how much space I should put right here because I don't want these stairs to be right up on the wall. And there's no set length that this needs to be. And whenever I don't have an exact idea of what something needs to be, it drives me crazy because I don't know how big to make this. Do I make it 6 studs wide? Do I make it 8 studs wide? It doesn't really matter, but those 2 studs could be more important over here, over there, and I don't really know until, I get the whole thing built and look at it. To help counter that, I'm only going to be building this section until I can really hammer out all the sizes and distances of everything. So that way I won't have to move this entire thing if something gets messed up or is done wrong. I know I keep calling this section a road. The only reason why is because I don't want to get it confused with the sidewalk, which is right here, and the steps right here. It's basically just going to be a plain strip of walkway. When I said clean up the mock, I meant go back and finish incomplete sections like this apartment wall. There are some sections where I finished the general structure of build, but didn't add the finishing touches right as the mock is being finished. So I'm gonna get some of these knocked out this week. Another big thing I need to work on at some point is the large skyscraper above this section. It's not even halfway finished, and I wanted it to be the tallest building in the mock. I had the second story of the entertainment complex in my sights for a couple of weeks now, and it's time to finish it so I can see what the whole half of this section will look like in its final form. The back wall needs to be finished and connected to the front archway. Since I built this in sections, they tend to have gaps in between them and not fit together snugly, so they need to be connected by brick. It's interesting to step back and look at this entertainment complex as a whole and see what came about from my initial vision and plan, which wasn't much, because I didn't have a clear idea of what I wanted this to look like. I just had a general idea of multiple levels, shops, And the final step is to put in the tables and chairs. I'm not doing any more art right now because I don't know what I want that to look like, and I don't really have any pieces. The reason the tables are purple is because I wanted to add as much color as possible to this area, and dark purple has a somewhat fancy, elegant vibe to it without being too colorful and bright. There's one last lantern that needs to be lit up, and then the whole apartment complex interior will be lit. I also remembered I needed to add the corner roof to the entertainment complex. Since I can't add the raisable glass panels in the corner, I'm just going to build a stationary corner piece. I honestly have no idea what I want it to look like. I'm just going to put down some wedge plates and tiles until I get something that looks cool. This is the most complete look at the entertainment complex we've got so far, and I am loving it. This is what the whole thing is going to look like. I'm basically just going to mirror this over here on this side, minus the sky bridge. The tables are looking really nice up there. I love the way they contrast with the floor and the walls. I don't have the paintings up. Like I said, I don't really know what to do for them. I think I might just continue the same color palette of dark red and dark blue, but I would like to integrate some different shapes and textures, kind of like what I did over here. The stationary bit of roof is okay. Like I said, I didn't really know what I wanted this to look like, so I'm not super sure if this is what it's going to end up looking like. I might change some things. I don't really know. I just kind of need to figure out what I like and don't like. I do like the different lines on here. I think they help make it look a little bit more fancy and less boring. But it is one plate taller than the surrounding roof, so I might shrink it down one so it's uniform. But that being said, I kind of like how it pops up above this wall. So as you can see, I'm still very undecided and unsure what's going on over there. But at least something's in. You guys already saw the lights over there. This alleyway is looking really good. This wall is almost complete. I ran out of tile, unfortunately. What else is new? But I got pretty much everywhere else tiled off. Got another vent in there, crack, pop out. I'm really excited to get this section finished because this will give us a good look as to what the finished mock is going to look like with the walls, the ground, the sidewalks, and battle damage and other stuff. There's one little problem that slipped through unnoticed. When I built this wall, I didn't make the entire top row of filler plate, dark bluish gray, so you can see there is some exposed random colors of plate, and that's definitely not going to fly. So I'm trying to decide what to do next. I can either build this roof up taller so it's level with the rest of these glass panels, or I can just pull out this top row of plate and add in dark bluish gray plate like what I did here on the corner. I think what I'm going to do is finish this whole top, see how it looks compared to the wall, and figure out if I want to raise the wall up or not. Although on second thought, looking at this completed section over here, it looks kind of weird having this plate section stop right here but have the wall continue to run up higher, so I think I might add another row on there. Last thing I'm going to talk about over here are the steps. I've been thinking a lot about these, and this is the first time I've actually got to physically see them, same with you guys, and I'm realizing a potential big problem, and that is, what is the purpose of these steps? In the pictures of the Galactic Senate building, we can see there are a lot of steps leading up to a long plaza with statues and stuff. Obviously, I can't build that same length of plaza, but I would at least like to include some of it. But what we don't see is, what do these stairs lead from? Like, what's down over here in the actual scene? Because what I have is a little stretch of road and then a wall right here. So it's basically going to look like this when finished. And honestly, I think this looks kind of stupid. Like, why would you have this huge flight of stairs that lead down to just a wall? You know what I mean? Whereas I feel like most people are just going to come up here and use this middle section of stairs. So I actually want to get your guys' thoughts on this. I'm thinking about cutting out the stairs in this section and just making a large plateau that basically goes like this and then comes down. Big wall. And then we'll have the steps over here kind of more in the middle towards, the sidewalk, the car entrance. That way, people who are walking up can come up here, because who's going to come all the way up over here and then walk up and then come over? You know what I mean? It just feels like kind of a waste of space. But I'm interested to know what you guys think about that. So basically, we'd have a long plaza right here that ends in a drop off and a wall that comes down here, and then about right here probably the steps would start and go from about here to here where the entrance to the car garage would be. I hope that made sense. I'm still toying and figuring out the idea myself, so I may not be super good at explaining it. I didn't do anything in the bank this week just because, like I said last week, I did everything except for what I don't have parts for. But I did want to answer a question I got from a couple of people, and that's, what are the interior walls going to look like? Because obviously, I'm not going to leave this plate exposed. I'm just basically going to build a wall of 1 by light bluish gray along the inside, and it's going to cover the entire inside of the wall. So it's going to come around here. I'm still need to figure out how exactly I'm going to mirror the shape of this with brick. I'll probably use, a bunch of inverted slopes. Then it's going to come over here and basically completely envelop the door. So none of this will be exposed. It'll all just be solid light bluish gray walls with probably, some designs in it or something. That'll do it for the final week of the year. This is what I got done in 2022. Not bad. Not bad at all. I feel like I'm flying through this mock. Man, what a way to end the year, starting the final section. It feels good. I'm excited. This is one section that I'm really excited to build for obvious reasons. And while I'm not starting the Senate building yet, that means we are one step closer. Next week will be the beginning of a fresh year and a new month, which means lots of new parts are coming in, so I can basically work anywhere I want. I'll probably be working on the stairs again and doing some work on the skyscrapers, potentially making a very big change to one of them. All that being said, don't forget to let me know what you thought about this update down below in the comments, and I will catch you next time. But until then, happy building.